and welcome to The Art of Trying, episode 2. How you going, Mum?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Oh, doing fantastic.
Had a good week?
Oh, as good as the week can get in isolation.
Yes, I know that.
Mm-hmm. So, episode 2, thank you to anybody that's listening for making it to episode 2. We hope you enjoyed episode 1. But this is now episode 2, and so thank you. And what I want to do what I want to do right now, Mum, is I want to take the time to because I realised we didn't do it last episode. I want to thank everyone for staying at home.
Absolutely.
Thank everyone for flattening that curve, for self-isolating, for quarantining yourself, whatever you're doing. Thank you. You're doing a fantastic job.
We are doing a fantastic job here in Australia, I must admit, and Victoria especially.
Victoria doing
incredibly well. And thank you to all of our key workers and our nurses and our doctors, all those people that are still going out to work so that we can stay at home and be safe. So
if you are essential, thanking you.
Thanking you.
We're not essential, which is why we're at home.
Which is why we're doing this.
We're doing our bit. So yes, thank you. I don't think we can say it enough, because obviously what's going on around the world right now is extremely tragic, especially in, I don't know if you saw today, Mum, but the US has just hit 1 million cases, or confirmed cases at least. And so worldwide, we're 3 million. So,
wow.
It's
and
getting
yet people
a bit...
are still thinking about now
you've got people over in the US who are protesting that they want to go outside.
Did you see that there was a protest in Victoria though a couple of days ago?
No,
wanting the same thing, and I'm like, no, people just stay at home, at home.
And I saw a fantastic post on Facebook. Opening too soon is like stop it. Let me reword that. Jesus.
That again.
Opening too soon is like not taking your antibiotics because you're feeling better. You've got to...
absolutely, yeah. No, you've got to see it all the way through.
You've got to see it all the way through,
Yeah.
And
I know that it's annoying.
For another few months, but...
Yeah. No, I mean, I think everybody's got to that point now, haven't they, where they're just like, do you know what, I'm over it. I just... Yeah. And I think because we're being told that we're doing so well... Yeah. As well, we sort of are going, well, why can't we go out again? But no, it's just too soon. Stay home. Stay home. And stay safe.
Watch a new TV series if you've got nothing to do. Read a book. Do something.
Yep. There's always something to do.
Always something to do. Make a podcast.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here we are. Talking of which, a small recap on last week.
Episode 2.
Episode 1.
Episode 1 was,
Yep.
Yeah.
We are only on episode 2.
I know. 2 episodes in and I've already lost track.
Okay. But I think we spoke about ourselves and our businesses and how we're generally going in life, and I think it went really well. I liked it. Yeah. It was good.
Listening to it once when I was editing it.
Yeah, once you got it together and it sounded okay.
Yeah. So I fixed some mistakes.
I'm sure there was a lot of those,
and cut out all of the as we would call bloopers.
Yeah, I reckon that's going to be a good podcast, that one.
Yeah,
all our bloopers.
The blooper podcast is going to be fantastic.
Yeah, that'll be good. So
confirmed that will come at some point when I get around to editing that up.
Yeah, has to, doesn't it?
Yeah. So last week we introduced ourselves. Our businesses, our sort of our goals and all that sort of jazz. Okay. Now, this week I want to start off, Mum, with just a small little thing. I want to sort of talk about something that we did this week that we're proud of, because we've got to take pride in the work that we do, in whether that's in everyday life or in our careers. We've got to stay proud of what we do, I think.
Yeah, we do.
So, is there anything that you did this week that you're proud of, no matter how big, no matter how small?
There's probably a couple of things that come to mind, and we've touched on the first one already, and that would have been that the podcast we did. I found that so difficult, so far out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Still am, but so I'm proud that we did it.
We did.
And one of the other things that I was really proud of, actually, and if anybody knows me, they do know that I like to be the other side of the camera. I don't like to be this side of the camera, right? And to do that photo shoot with you was particularly difficult, but not as difficult as looking back at the photos.
Yeah.
That is always the worst bit.
Looking back at the photos is always difficult because you sort of you pick at everything, don't you?
Absolutely. You only ever see yourself.
Yeah, we're our own worst critics in a way.
Yeah. But how selfish that we just look at ourselves. But anyway, I looked at myself and went, don't like that. But I thought, do you know what? No. This is about me stepping out of my comfort zone and doing different things and embracing just new ventures. So I was particularly proud that I just went, that's a good one. Put that up.
And it was good photos.
I
think they've come out really nicely. And if you haven't seen any of the photos, go check it out on our socials at the Art of Trying podcast on both Facebook and Instagram. They're all up there.
Yeah,
and
they look.
They're really nice photos. I think it captures us really nicely.
Yeah, it does actually.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's what I was being particularly proud of this week. And there's a few things in business as well, but that's. But what about you? Have you done anything this week where you can say
a couple of things that I'm
go me?
Yeah, a couple of things I'm pretty proud of. Obviously, starting the podcast, we've been thinking about this for a while, and so I'm glad that we've started that, kicked that off. But one thing I'd like to point out that I am really proud of myself for doing is I said no.
Oh,
I said no to a job.
Right.
Which, if you've listened to episode 1, I'm unemployed right now. so
I was going to say, can you afford to say no to a job?
I know. But you've sort of, I was proud of this because I knew my worth. Mm-hmm. And the job that I was offered, it wasn't like a permanent job at all. It wasn't like I'd become an employee of somewhere. It was more of a contractor-based job, right? Mm-hmm. But the rate that they wanted to give me was terrible, and for the workload and everything like that. So I looked at that and went, you know what? At the moment, I do need work, but I do know my worth, and I do know what my work is worth, and it wasn't that. And I think coming to the point where you know that, some people can't afford you.
And that's okay.
Mm. If I'm not in their budget, that's their problem, not mine.
Yes, absolutely.
So I was pretty proud of the fact that I stood my ground and went, no. Mm. If you want me to do that job, it's at this rate. If you can't afford that, that's okay.
Well done.
I'm on job seeker.
But no, in all honesty, that's a really hard thing to do.
It is. It is.
To know what your worth is. And sometimes you just want to say yes to everything because you want to get work. Mm-hmm. But you do have to know your worth and not sell yourself short and allow people to take the mickey out of you. Yeah. So well done.
And believe me, I'm and I've said this to so many people. I'm one for, work for free if you can. And work for I'm one for that. Right. Yeah. And I think we'll go further into that in an episode down the road. But there is limits to what you should do. Mm-hmm.
For sure. Because you shouldn't allow people to take advantage of the fact that you're not in work. And they'll have that attitude of, he'll work for anything because, he just wants a job. And that's not fair. Can't do that.
I agree. And I say, working, I'm all for working for free, but theoretically, you never should be working for free.
No, that's called volunteering.
Yeah.
And I'm all for volunteering.
Yeah.
But don't just give your services away to people that will take advantage.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool.
Good.
Well, something we're proud of this week, and that's good. We're taking pride in our work. We're taking I don't know where I was going with that, but taking pride in our work is fantastic.
Yes.
Okay, so episode 2. I believe we've called it. What have we called it? Defining success. That's what we've called it. Now we spoke about this a little tiny bit in episode 1. Talked about success and our sort of journey towards it, or however it is. But I want to talk about defining it, because I don't think it's the same for everybody.
No, I wouldn't have thought so. When I think about success, and I think everyone has to think about it from their own personal point of view.
They do.
So we've all got different opinions of what that is. I mean, if I look at it from my business point of view, to me, success is the fact that someone has bought one of my toppers and put it on a cake, and they're absolutely thrilled with it. To me, it's something as small as that. Mm-hmm. To me, I've been successful in what I wanted to achieve from them buying a topper from me.
Yeah.
And so for other people, it's going to be way different from that.
Definitely. Definitely.
So yeah, they can be really, really small things. And it can be an amalgamation of small things that makes one big success also. So yeah, I mean, what does it mean for you
for me in terms of like, I've never, I mean, sorry, I'll reword that. For me, I've had different sort of definitions of my success throughout my sort of life, and they've changed, because I think that's because I've somewhat matured or grown up, or stuff like that. I used to believe that, when I first started out being an actor, I used to believe I would only be successful if I made it.
And making it was what? Being in Hollywood?
Making it was in Hollywood, making movies left, right and centre. Everybody loved me. I won an Oscar, all
household
that sort of
name.
Stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I would be Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah. But what about all those other successful actors that are successful out there that nobody knows about?
Exactly.
You can't say that they're not successful, because they are.
And then my sort of definition of success changed to make money, make money from it. Mm-hmm. And now I've sort of put my definition of success to just being happy with what I do.
Yep.
If that's, I work a job and on the weekend I do theatre and I'm happy, that's my success.
Yeah. It is very important to think about your well-being within, and I think we touched on that last week too.
We did, yeah.
Within your job, it is really important, and I know that I said how lucky I was that I do something that I love every day. Not everyone can do that, so I think you're right in saying that's probably a very broad across the board for a lot of people, that's what success is. Some people aspire to money, some people aspire to fame, but aspiring to happiness is sometimes it can be one of the hardest things as well to achieve. But yeah, it's one of the most important, I think. And if you've got happiness, then to me, you are successful.
Yeah,
aren't you?
Yeah. And I think it's something that's overlooked. Because, like I said, I think people go after that, their definition of making it.
Yep.
Of
the money comes first.
Yeah, and all that sort of stuff.
And with money should come happiness, but it doesn't. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying it doesn't. It can for a lot of people, but it doesn't. It's not an absolute that if you've got money, you're going to be happy.
Yeah, because I think we mentioned it last episode that I can only imagine the worst feeling in the world would be to achieving what you think is success, and then hating it.
Yeah.
Because
and
that
feeling
would
that,
just,
and almost thinking, okay, that I've achieved what I've strived for all this time, and I still feel the same.
Yeah.
I still feel empty. I still feel like I need something else, which means that you haven't achieved what you set out for in the first place.
Exactly.
And that must be hard, because then you go, what was I striving for?
Yeah. Yeah. It's success is very much a difficult thing for somebody to sort of pin down in terms of defining it for yourself.
And I think there's a lot of people out there that can't or won't get the success that they want because of the situation that they're in. Their success may be a completely different path from what they're doing, you know, and through no fault of their own can't go down that path, you know, and end up being stuck in something that they know is never going to make them happy. So therefore the success doesn't come. You know, that must be very hard to have to live like that, always wanting something else that you know that you actually can't achieve because you're just stuck somewhere else.
Yeah, that would be quite terrible.
Yeah, that was I seem to be a bit morbid.
Yeah, that went a bit down.
I was morbid
We're talking about
time.
Success here.
Success, and what did I come up with? Failure.
No, but like I think it's a very good point to make. Is you could have all these ideas of what yours, have all these ideas of success and where you want to go in life and all that sort of stuff, but you might not ever get there.
No.
And that's, I suppose, is one truth in life is you could have all these goals, you could have all these successes. Or you could have these aims for success. It doesn't mean you're going to get them.
No. And also, though, you can achieve success even if you don't achieve those, and as long as you're okay with it.
Yeah.
You know, if you can go, okay, or you know, if you tried and you didn't, if you can sit back and go, I'm okay with that, then you have succeeded in some way.
Yeah.
You know, because it's hard to sit back and say that you're okay with things sometimes when you think that you should be striving for something else and it doesn't come. You know, don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes your goals are too high. You know. And it's being realistic, I guess. Maybe that's a way for success as well.
I think so. I think you've got to be realistic with your goals. Got to be realistic.
Maybe being
with
Leonardo
your success.
DiCaprio is not realistic.
I don't think it is.
But I mean, he had to think about it at some point, though, didn't he?
I suppose he did.
You know?
Yeah. But then I can imagine that he never. Well, I don't know. He could have, but I can imagine he never compared himself to anyone. He was always himself.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one. I think we all tend to compare ourselves to somebody within. When it comes to being in an industry, I guess you always aspire to be someone, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you think?
No, I may have worded that wrong in terms of obviously. Yes, comparing yourself to somebody is going to happen. I do it all the time, right? And I can imagine he did that. I think what I meant to say was he probably didn't compare himself to someone else in terms of measuring his success.
Measuring his own success. Yes.
And I think that's something that people should acknowledge and look at when they're trying to define their own success. It's yours. It's nobody else's. It's yours.
Yeah.
Whatever you want your success to be, however you want to define it. You know, it's nobody else's.
Yeah, it's true. It does have to be yours, because if you're striving to be someone else, it's never going to make you happy, because that's not who you are.
It's never going to be enough.
Yeah.
It's never going to be enough.
I agree.
Yeah. So what else do you think that people should look at, or at least acknowledge when they are trying to define their own success? Because I think somebody if you go into a venture, whatever that is, whether that's being an artist, an entrepreneur, or whatever, I think you need to look at yourself and define what success is to you, how or what you want to achieve at the beginning, would you say?
At the beginning, yes. And I think you need to acknowledge all of your small steps as well. Make yourself some small goals that are successful. That means that you're getting those little tiny steps to being successful. There's no pinnacle, I guess. It's that, and maybe that's it. Always, it's like losing weight. Give yourself a small goal and it will be achievable. And also recognize when you've met them and celebrate the fact that you meet your small goals, and then find another one. And then from there, and keep doing the same thing, because I don't think we ever that success is not the top of the mountain, is it? It's not a point we get to and then go, okay, I can't go any further.
There's always another mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. So
it reminds me of a Miley Cyrus song.
It's in there somewhere. So yeah, I think if you just be kind to yourself and set yourself small, achievable goals and celebrate your successes. Don't ever let them go by without giving them some acknowledgement. Otherwise, they're not worth anything.
Yeah, I like that. Celebrate your successes. Celebrate yourself.
Yeah.
We need
don't do it enough.
No, we don't.
Definitely not.
Sort of told not to in a way, but I like that. For me, what I think people should acknowledge, and I spoke about it earlier, is what brings you happiness, what brings you joy. And I think if you chase that, that's going to be a hell of a lot better just in life, I think. So you mentioned that you think people should set themselves smaller goals, more achievable goals. What sort of goals have you... Oh, you didn't like that. Oh.
Did you see my face?
I did see your face.
Here we go. This is the whole practice what you preach, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. Okay.
So
cool.
what sort of give me an example of an achievable smaller goal that you have set for yourself at Fancy Fondant.
I suppose my goals. Oh, goodness gracious. I really don't like that question. All right. No, I think for me, it was probably going from just modelling to then teaching. And I allowed myself to have, to go from modelling to teaching, and only one type of sorry, let me start again. When I started teaching, I was only teaching a specific course. And then I realized that I was capable of doing more, but didn't want to push myself too hard, but knew I needed to push myself to go out and do classes of my own. So then set myself a goal of, okay, so I'll do the teaching for 3 months, and then I'll introduce my own classes and do my own. Because that then gave me because I was working, doing a different course under the umbrella of Cake Duchess. It meant that I was following her models and her instructions, and I was teaching it. And what that allowed me to do was become confident in my teaching, because I was already confident in my modelling, but not so much in my teaching. And then I was able to do my own. And that also allowed me to do some research into how you do tutorials and that sort of thing, because that I was really, really worried about. I wanted to make sure that my content was good, and the prices that I was setting with the content and the teaching that I was doing was acceptable. So yeah, I gave myself 3 months and then went out and did them. I wouldn't have been able to do that right from the beginning. So it was then important at that time to say, hey, look at me, I can teach my own classes. So that was one of the small. I must set myself goals all the time, And sometimes they're so small and and you feel so insignificant that you do tend to just sort of brush them under the carpet. But I know that one for me was a big one, which has then allowed me to go on and do other teaching as well.
But I suppose when, like, if you have those, you know, even if there's so many like tiny goals that, you know, but you know, if you do all of them and the more of them you build up.
Yeah, I mean, one of my tiny ones is I constantly say in my classes that I can't do eyelashes, right? Can't do them. And that's all I ever say.
Eyelash?
Well, you'd be surprised.
Is it just one little bit of...
Yeah, it's just one little bit, 2 little flicks on each side. That's all I say to them. Just do it. Just be confident. Just go ahead and do it. And then they go, well, you're going to do yours? And I go, nah.
No, I don't need to. I've done plenty.
And then I'm like, I couldn't possibly. And then when I do them, I go, look, I'm not very good at them, so yours will look better than mine. So that's a goal I need to set myself when I get back into it at the end of this year. I want to be able to confidently do eyelashes, and all that means is me taking the time to practice, you know, and it is something I want to do. You know, faces again are the same for me. That's a goal that I've got written on my wall. Want to be able to do faces better, and for me, if I've got a goal, I do need to have it written somewhere.
Yes, writing your goals down helps.
Yeah. Don't you have whiteboards around?
I do have many a whiteboard around. Doesn't mean that what's on the whiteboard it makes any sense. I do like to write my goals down. I've got a nice journal that I haven't used in the last month. That's something keeping up with stuff like that has always been a pain in the ass for me. But
how do you do that though? A journal as in just like a diary?
Yeah, well, it's a special sort of goal setting diary journal thing.
I wouldn't be able to fill one of those out.
Yeah, and like when I first got it, I was like, I'm success. Yeah. I haven't used it in like a month, and but I do set myself sort of those smaller goals, and it's making sure it's looking at those goals that and making sure that they aid the sort of the overall goal, the overall sort of success, if you know what I mean. So, for example, a big goal for 2020 for me was to get a completely new show reel done.
And how far are you into that?
Well, I was meant to have it done by now.
The year's not over, and we've had a particularly bad year.
And this is the thing. To do all that, I had planned to sort of meet up with other actors and film scenes and all that sort of stuff. Obviously, can't do that at the moment, and we haven't been able to do that for however many weeks. But it's no excuse. I should be doing something for it. I should be writing or whatever.
Yes, I'm sure there's something you could be doing rather than
so many things I could be doing. But I do like to write my goals down. Just making sure that those goals are achievable, I think, is something that is incredibly important. Because if you set a goal or you set a target, you define your success as something that's fucking huge, and you're like, and I'm going to get that in a year. Well, it's not going to work. Right.
No.
You know, that's what I was like when I was 19 years old. I just started my formal training at 16th Street Actor Studio. Right, my main idea of success, or my main goal back then, was I'm going to be in Hollywood when I'm 21.
How old are you now?
I'm 25. I'm 25, and I've only been to Hollywood on a holiday. So it's like, and you can imagine how disappointed and how
but you only set yourself up for failure though.
Yeah, exactly.
You didn't do those small steps along the way to get yourself there.
Exactly. So when you define your success, or this is my advice that I can give anybody that's sort of starting off, right? When you are setting those goals and when you're defining your own success, make sure you can achieve it.
Yes.
Make sure.
I mean, it's okay having a big something that a lot of other people might go, wow, that seems unachievable. That it's okay if you know how you're going to get there.
Definitely, it's okay to have that, but make sure it's achievable. Say, yes. I for example, I'll win an Oscar by the time before I die.
Yeah, that would be the best.
That's an achievable goal, or that's how.
Well, for an aspiring actor, yes.
For an aspiring actor, I think that's an achievable goal, and that's a good definition of success before you die, because you could still win an Oscar at 98.
Yep, I mean, you could win one after you've died.
This is true. That has been done by people.
Yeah. So.
You'd still call yourself a success. Some people would call you a success anyway. Yeah. So I think we're just to sort of, I think we went off on a bit of a tangent there, but to sort of sum it up, what people should look at and acknowledge when they're defining their success is, look at what drives you forward. Sort of look at what brings you joy and happiness.
You've got to have drive.
Yeah,
you have got to have drive, because if you're not going after something that you want, there's never going to be success, is there?
No. Exactly. No. And you could get that thing, and when you get it, it's just like, well, what's the point? Look at what brings you joy, but look at what brings you happiness. When you set it as like a reasonable thing, reasonable, achievable. And then you'll be happy, and that's not to say we're not experts on this one, because I haven't achieved my idea of success yet.
You're only 25.
Exactly.
Yeah, I haven't even achieved mine yet. Not in my business, anyway. There's still a long way to go, I think. So
it's a marathon, not a sprint.
It is. Don't beat yourself up.
No,
because you're only 25. And
well, I try not to, but
it's a long road for you.
It is, yeah. I think that's what and I've only just sort of come to terms with that and sort of understood that is I might not get it when I want it.
No, absolutely. But you know what? It's your journey.
Exactly. It's mine. It's no one else's. It's. So some people like putting time frames on goals and stuff like that. How do you feel about that, Mum? Do you like to put a time frame on it? Do you like to be like, all right, this is what I'm going to achieve by this time?
Oh, I think that can be hard, and I think though, as you touched on earlier, as long as that is achievable within that time frame, then yes, I think the time frames are a good idea. I think when you're thinking about your end goal of what you're going to define as success, the trouble with that is if you say, like at 25, when you get to 40, your definition of success will be very different.
It certainly will be, yeah.
When you're 25. So I think as long as you're flexible in your changes along the way, then I think it's okay to set yourself small goals. But as you said, they do have to be achievable. There's absolutely no point in setting yourself a goal that you're going to fail at. It's just
impossible to get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you said, you're just setting up for failure. And
so I think they can work. I quite like them because it also makes you accountable too. You get to the end of it, but the thing is, if you get to the end of it and you haven't achieved it, if you can justify why you haven't achieved it, then that's okay. And you can say, and even if it is, sorry, I was a lazy ass and I didn't bother to do anything in the last month, then you can go, okay, I accept that. And you can move on.
And there's lessons to be learned there, and there's lessons to be learned in failure, and you got to be proud of your failures. Yes. And I want to talk about that in another episode. Proud of your failures, because
I'll be good at that one.
Yeah, because we've had many of them. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be right up for that one.
So I hope this is sort of helped anyone. Sort of,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that was episode 2.
That was good.
How are we going to finish this one off? Do you want? Because last week we did, or last episode we did a little gamey game.
A terrible game. We did game really of terrible tennis.
What do we do?
Yes.
why don't we do a sort of like a quick fire sort of thing of I know TV show you're watching right now, Mum. Go.
MasterChef.
As in,
yes.
Is there they're running one right now?
Yes, the Australian one. Don't normally watch it, but those 2 judges have gone. They've brought new people in, and I'm really enjoying it.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it is.
That's good.
Really good.
Yes. A movie you just recently watched, and why'd you like it?
Or Extraction.
If you liked it.
Yeah, I watched it last night. Oh my goodness, I got goosebumps just thinking about it.
He was great.
Such
in
a good
Chris
movie.
Hemsworth, fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, very gory, very bloody.
Was,
if you're not into that sort of thing, maybe
it was very much like a John Wick sort of. It's just a movie about him killing people. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it felt like though. Not that I play video games, but it felt a bit like that with the camera work because they've done this big camera. What's it called? A one-er?
They did
Is that what they call it?
There was a big. I mean, the majority of their action scenes was done as like a
single camera,
one take thing.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you're into film or anything like that, watch how they film and edit that shit. That's filmmaking. That's phenomenal.
It was a really good movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a bit gory.
You know, I've seen so many people online and all that saying, "Oh, it wasn't that good. Oh, it was. Oh, the storyline was." And I'm just like, piss off. It was an action film. It was Chris Hemsworth killing a load of people.
It was an action film. It was killing from start to finish.
And I hate that when people go, the Avengers or superhero films are all crap and they got no story. I'm like, did you enjoy yourself for 2 hours? Yeah, that's the whole point.
Yes. Yeah. No, it was very good. I did enjoy it. It was very realistic as well in the whole. He was very beaten up. And,
it was very good. Well, that was going to be.
It was good.
That was going to be my answer to a film I recently watched.
Oh, was it? Oh, sorry.
A TV show that I'm watching.
Yeah, go.
Am I watching a TV show? I'm watching reruns of The Office because I don't know. Have you seen The Office, Mum?
It's not. No.
Watch The Office. Honestly,
I tried. It's one of those that I was.
Steve Carell is honestly. If I'd like to meet one person in my life, it would be Steve Carell as Michael Scott from The Office. That would be phenomenal.
Really?
Yeah. Just have a conversation with him. Oh, it'd be fantastic.
In character, obviously.
Oh, definitely, of course. Of course.
And movie, go on. What movie have you seen?
I told you, Extraction.
That
was my one.
Well, you could have thought of another one.
Night at the Museum. Do you know there's 3 of them?
Is there? I think I don't even know if I've seen one.
Yeah, there's 3. There's 3 Night at the Museums. Oh. They're really good. Night at the Museum 2 is a bit meh. Actually, Night at the Museum 3 is a bit meh as well. Night at the Museum 1. That's the.
Is that the one you watched?
No, we watched all 3. Not in a row.
Oh. But you've watched all 3.
Yeah.
Have you seen Code 8?
No.
I want to watch that too. I saw that advertised the other day. I think that's on Prime though.
Oh.
So maybe next time we chat,
You might have watched it. Yeah. All right, cool. Well, that ends up episode 2, Defining Success. Like I said earlier, I hope it helped anyone. I hope anyone found it interesting. Thank you for listening. If you made it to episode 2, and if you made it this far, episode 3 will be coming up next week. In the meantime, follow us on our socials at The Art of
The Art of Podcasting.
Jesus, I got that wrong. Follow us on our socials at The Art of Trying Podcast. Leave any comments, like, share, follow, whatever you want to do. Every little helps.
It does.
Okay. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next episode.
We will. Bye.
See you later.